Hello everyone and welcome to your home practice. My name is Trishy and for today's class we will be doing a lot of twisting, which gives us a lot of energy to tackle your day or your mid-afternoon, whenever is good for you and you're just looking for an energy boost without caffeine. So come and take a comfortable seat. We'll begin just taking a 1-minute meditation. So sit comfortable. Lift up tall through your spine and place your palms on top of your knees. Close your eyes, dropping your shoulders down onto the back body. And take a moment just to climb to your mat in the practice and your breath and being here and aware in the present. Feel your breath rise and fall. Bring your palms together in front of your heart center. Inhale deeply through your nose as you exhale through your mouth. So let's begin with our first twist. Raise your arms overhead on an inhale. Exhale, right palm to left knee, left fingertips behind you. So lift up tall through your spine. I don't think I'll be saying that not enough times to lift up tall through your spine. It's very important when you're twisting. Gaze over the left shoulder as you come back center. Inhale, raise your arms overhead. Left palm to right knee, right fingertips behind you. Gaze over your right shoulder as you lift your spine nice and tall. And release, come back center. And we're going to do a little seated cat and cow. So on the inhale, place your palms on your knees, expand your chest, open to the sky. And as you exhale, contract chin to chest. Inhale, open and expand. Exhale, contract and close. Do a couple more with your own breath. Inhaling and exhaling as you move through the poses. And from here, take some spinal circles. So as you inhale, expand, rotating over to the right, exhaling, contracting. So this is kind of like a circular cat and cow. So do 3 going to the right and then switch. Moving your spine over to the left as you warm up your spine and back body for all the twists we're about to do today. Come back center and come into tabletop pose. Shoulders over wrist, hips over knees. Just tap the top of your feet down on the back of the mat, just in case you had any falling asleep of your limbs. And raise your right arm overhead. Then as you exhale, thread it through underneath your body for thread the needle. Ear and side of your head come down to the mat as you twist open to the left. You can come up onto your left fingertips and be sure to keep your knees, or your hips rather, over top of your knees. Lift back up. Right arm overhead, then place it back down into tabletop pose. Left arm reaches up, thread it through underneath your body. Head comes down to the mat, come up onto your right fingertips. And the farther through you thread your arm underneath your body, the deeper the twist. Take a breath. Inhale, lift back up, raising your left arm overhead, and then place your left palm down onto the mat. Sit back onto your heels, and place your fingertips behind your body and open your chest up to the sky. As you inhale, lift your chest, Exhale, round your shoulders forward. Inhale, shoulders onto the back body. Exhale, round them forward. Inhale. Hold. So there was a little bit of just shoulder warm up right there. And then release. Come back forward. Place your palms onto the mat. Curl your toes under and step back into downward dog. So bend your knees, one and then the other, just paddling through your feet. Feel free to bend your knees in this downward dog. Lift your right leg up to the sky. Keep your hips straight and square, and then open your hip and bend your knee. Flex through your toes as you bring your right knee in between your palms. Back knee goes down, low lunge. Come up onto your fingertips as you inhale, lengthen, and then come all the way up into the pose, arms overhead. Keep your back toes curled under. Lower your palms down to the mat, and then extend your right leg out in front of you, half splits. This time, rather, instead of rounding your spine and folding over your leg, try to keep your spine nice and straight with your chest open while you're on your fingertips. Release, bend your right knee, arms into prayer position at the heart center, and then take a twist from here. So your left shoulder is hooking onto the outer edge of your right knee. Keep those back toes curled under. Lengthen through your spine as you straighten and lift your left leg. So now you're up in a high lunge with a twist. Keep your head and neck looking for wherever is comfortable to you. As you lower your palms down to the mat, step back into downward facing dog. Press your chest to the thighs as you extend your left leg up to the sky. Bend your knee, open up your hip. Bring your legs straight and square as you step your left foot in between your palms and lower your back knee down. So keep your right toes curled under, come up onto your fingertips as you lengthen through your spine, and then inhale, raise your arms overhead. Keep tucking your tailbone down so you're not swaying too much in your lower back. Swing your palms around down to the mat and straighten through your left leg as you take half splits. So I always have to push my foot a little bit more forward because then my hip is not aligned over top of my knee in the back there. Lengthen through your spine, extending your chest away from your pubic bone. Bend your left knee. Bring your palms together in your heart center. Back toes are curled under, and then hook your right elbow over your left as you use the strength of your elbow to open and twist to the left. As you inhale, straighten through your right leg so you're in a high lunge with a twist now. Stay high onto the ball of your right toes and push through that leg. Bring your palms down to the earth. Step back into downward dog. Take a breath here. Roll forward into plank pose. Chest is reaching forward. Lower your knees, chest, and chin down to the mat. Tops of the feet are on top of your mat. We're going to take a baby cobra, so inhale, lift up. Palms come off the mat. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra, shoulders on the back body, palms are off the mat, lower down. And once more, inhale for cobra, shoulders are in to the sides, and lower down. Plant your palms, curl your back toes under, and lift up into downward dog. Lift your right leg up to the sky. Keep your legs straight and square as you step your right foot in between your hands, high lunge, so you're up on the ball of the left foot, arms overhead. Right knee is over right ankle. So take a breath here as you fully expand up and out through your ribs. And then exhale, twist over to the right, right arm behind you, left arm beside you, pointing towards the front of your mat. Inhale, arms overhead, back center. Bring your palms to your heart center and step up, bringing big toes to touch, heels about an inch apart into chair pose. So sit your heels back as much as possible. Lengthen through your tailbone as you twist over to the right, left elbow on your right knee. Lengthen through your spine as you twist. Come back center, bring your palms to the earth and then back into chair pose. Then hook your right elbow over your left knee, twisting open and over to the left. So really try to lengthen from your hip bones and be sure that your knees are kept straight and square. Come back center, release, forward fold, straighten your legs. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold over your legs. Plant your palms, step back into plank pose. Lower all the way down to the mat. Inhale, cobra, shoulders onto the back body. Keep your hip bones down. And then lift up and back, sitting onto your heels. So your knees are together. You're going to raise your right arm overhead, then hook your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. So your palm is kind of like in a karate chop position. You can either stay here, staying up onto your left fingertips, or you can swing your left arm around onto your lower back. So this accentuates the twist. Try to breathe as deeply as you can. Come back, center, lift up, arms overhead as you inhale, expand. Exhale, twist over to the right, hooking your left elbow on the other side of your right knee. So again, you can either come up onto your right fingertips, or you can reach your right palm to your lower back. Try to breathe as deeply as you can in this contracted shape. I know it's hard. Take one more breath and release. Sitting back all the way up, arms overhead. Plant your palms down into the mat as you step back to downward dog. Lift your left leg up to the sky, keeping your legs straight and square. Step your left foot in between your palms, high lunge, staying high on the ball of your right toes, arms overhead. So you are keeping your left knee over your left ankle. And when you look down, your knee does not go past your toes. Open up to the left, left arm back, right arm forward. Try to keep your hips straight and square to the front of the mat. Take another breath as you come back center, arms overhead. Lower your hips a little bit more as you step up into chair pose. Big toes touch, heels apart about an inch, palms in the center of your chest. Keep lengthening through your tailbone as you twist over to the left, right elbow to the outer edge of your left knee. So try to aim for your palms to be in the center of your chest as much as possible. Hips are lower than your heart. Sink down a little more. Come back center and twist over and open to the right. Palms at heart center. Make sure that your knees haven't shifted and they're still completely square and parallel. Come back center. Release, straighten your legs. Fold over. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold over your thighs. Plant your palms, step back into plank pose. Lower all the way down to the mat and come up onto your forearms. So you're going to bring your right forearm at a 45-degree angle in front of you and bend through your left knee. So when you can reach back with your left arm and clasp hold of that left foot. So instead of keeping your chest square to the front of the mat, which is something we would normally do, I would like you to twist up and open to the left. And release. And we'll go to the other side. So left arm at a 45-degree angle to the front of your body. Bend through your right knee and reach back and clasp hold with your right hand. So again, twist up and open to the right. So you're looking almost behind you. Be mindful of your lower back and your neck. And gently release your right foot. Plant your palms underneath your shoulders. Step back into downward dog. You can paddle your feet again, bending one knee and then the opposite. Lift your right leg up to the sky. Step your right foot in between your hands, back foot at a 45-degree angle, hips to the front of the mat, warrior one, so you're bending deeply into your right knee. Your right knee is over ankle. Then straighten up and lift your arms overhead. Lengthen through your tailbone as you interlace your fingers behind your lower back. Look up. Let most of the back bend come from your upper spine. Then release your palms and wrap your right palm around your left thigh, extending your left arm out in front of you. So you're twisting over to the right. Raise both arms overhead. Exhale, straighten through your right leg. Keep a slight micro bend in both knees. Hips square to the front of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold over your right leg. So your hands can either come to a block or up on your fingertips. Try to relax your upper body as much as possible, while pushing your left hip forward and your right hip back. Lengthen, inhale, lift up halfway, grab one of your blocks, place it underneath your left palm about 6 inches in front of your foot, lift up through your left leg, twist open to the right, and if you can, either bring your right palm to your hip or lift it up to the sky. So this is twisted half moon or reverse half moon, whichever you prefer. Exhale, release. Bring your back foot parallel to the short edge of your mat, your left foot, and then shift your hips back, bringing your right palm to the inside of your right leg for triangle pose. You can either keep your left palm on your hip or raise it up to the sky. Feel free to look up depending on your neck and how it feels. Look down, bring your palms to the earth. Plant your left palm and raise your right arm overhead for a twist open to the right. Spread through your fingertips. Release, plant both palms, come down into plank pose. Lower all the way down to the ground, shoulders on the back body, cobra. Lift up and curl your toes under and lift back into downward dog. Take a breath and lift your left leg up to the sky. Step your left foot in between your hands. Back foot, back foot rather at a 45-degree angle, squaring your hips to the front of the mat. Plant your palms on your hips and lift all the way up. Arms overhead, warrior one. So you have your left hip going towards the back of the mat and the right hip going forward so that your hips are square to the front of the mat. Drop your hips a little lower. Bring your palms behind your back body as you interlace your fingers the more unusual way. Opposite thumb on top. Feel free to look up as long as the back of your neck is long. Then bring your left palm to the outer edge of your right leg and extend your right arm either now this time in front of you or on the outer edge of your left knee. So you're twisting over to the left this time. And release, come back center, arms overhead. Bring your palms onto your hips, straighten through your left leg. Pull your right hip forward, left hip back. As you exhale, fold forward over your left leg. So be sure not to let your right hip open up to the side. Keep it pulling forward and square as you relax your upper body over your thigh. Inhale, lift up halfway, grab a hold of your block, place it under your right palm this time, step up and place the block 6 inches in front of your left foot, left palm to your hip, raise your right leg all the way up as much as you can, twist open to the left, and if you feel good and clear, raise your left arm overhead. So twisted half moon. Engage through your right leg a little more as you try to lift your heel a little higher and lower your palm down. You can feel free to move your block to the side. Right foot parallel to the back edge of the mat, arms out to the side, shift your hips back and bring your left palm to the inner edge of your left foot. Right arm overhead, triangle pose. So as much try to lengthen out from your hips and all the way through your spine, creating length in both your side body. Look down, plant both palms to the mat, square your hips, plant your right palm down and lift your left arm out and up. So you're twisting over to the left. Stay high onto the ball of your back foot. Bring your left palm down, step back into plank pose, lower all the way down, cobra, shoulders are away from the ears, and downward dog. Press your chest towards the thighs. Let your knees go wide down to the mat, big toes touch, child's pose. Bring your forehead down to the mat, arms extended in front of you. Just take a few breaths. Let your upper body become weightless. Relaxing all its muscles. Breathe deeply into your belly. Walk your palms forward, curl your back toes under, and lift up into downward dog. Raise your right leg to the sky. Step your right foot in between your palms, back foot parallel to the back edge of the mat. Sorry, at a 45-degree angle rather. Warrior one, arms overhead. Straighten through your right leg. Step your back foot in a couple inches. Keep it at that 45-degree angle, hips square and center to the right of the mat. As you exhale, fold over so your spine is now parallel to the ground. Grab a block and place it to the inner edge of your right foot. Bring your right palm to your hip. Twist open to the right as much as possible. And if you feel like you can, lift your right arm to the sky. So this is twisted triangle or revolved triangle, whichever you prefer. Keep trying to pull that left hip in and open your right hip as much as possible as you keep breathing deeply in the twist. So it's a pretty challenging pose. Slowly bring your right palm down. Wide-legged forward fold. Both feet are parallel to the short edges of your mat. As you inhale, place your left palm down and raise your right arm up. So you're twisting over to the right. As you exhale, plant your right palm down and lift your left arm overhead. Keep a slight micro bend in your knees. Be aware of your feet. Balancing all angles through the four corners of your feet. Inhale, come center. As you exhale, fold forward over your thighs. So I'm up on fingertips, but you can do whatever arm variation feels best for you. My elbows are pointing out to the side and I'm on fingertips. So as long as you keep your shoulders away from your ears, do whatever feels great for you. Walk your palms back forward, spin towards your top of your mat, step back into plank pose, lower all the way down to the mat. Cobra, hips are on the ground. Curl your toes under, downward dog. Lift your left leg up to the sky. Step your left foot in between your palms, back foot at a 45-degree angle. Lift up, arms overhead. Bend a little deeper through your left knee. Hips squaring to the front of the mat. Lengthen through your tailbone. Bring your hands to your hip, straighten through your left leg. Then as you exhale, fold over your left leg. Grab your block, place it to the inner edge of your left foot. Plant your right palm down. Twist open to the left as you lengthen. And if you feel good and clear, you can raise your left arm overhead. So you can either look up or you can look straight ahead, whatever feels comfortable for your neck, but if you're experiencing any pain, it means you've gone too far. So keep your right hip pushing forward this time, left hip going back. Exhale, lower your palms down to the mat. Spin over to the right side of your mat, feet parallel to the short edges. And you can either do the variation that we did before for wide-legged forward fold, or you can walk over to your right leg with your left arm on the outer side of your leg and lift your right arm overhead. So it's a little deeper twist. Come back center, then walk over to the left side of your foot, right arm to the outer edge of your left leg, left arm overhead. And release, come back center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold over your thighs. For this variation, I'm just walking my palms back behind me. But you should remember that you should also have your head off the mat. So if your head is off the mat, just feel free to narrow your stance. And walk your palms back up. Twist over to the top of the mat and step back into plank pose. Lower all the way down. Shoulders onto the back body. And then bring your palms behind your lower back and interlace your fingers and lift your chest off the mat. And if you feel good from there, you can lift your back legs off the mat. And then slowly lower down. Bend your knees and just windshield wiper your legs from side to side. Curl your toes under and step back into downward facing dog. Take a few breaths as you press your chest towards the thighs, tailbone up towards the sky. Drop your knees and come and take a seat down onto your mat. Bend your right knee and bring your right foot to the inner edge of your left thigh. Raise your arms overhead as you inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forward over your left foot, left leg. So as much as possible, try to keep lengthening the distance between your chest bone and your pubic bone. That way your spine stays nice and healthy in this pose. Stay where you are, but straighten your arms and lift your arms overhead. Plant your right palm down behind you. Lift your hips up to the sky for baby wild thing. So your left arm is over your head. Sit back down. Cross your right foot over your left thigh. Hug your knee in as you inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bring your right palm on your fingertips behind you. Hug your left knee in, or your right knee in with your left arm as you twist open to the left, or right rather. Keep your left toes flexed. Come back center, release. Bend your left knee. Bring your left foot to the inner edge of your right thigh. Inhale, lengthen, arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward over your right leg. So again, try to keep your spine as long as possible. It might not look that way, but it's actually happening where you're lengthening between your breastbone and pubic bone. Straighten your arms and use the power of your spine to lift back up, arms overhead. Left palm behind you, lift your hips up to the sky, right arm overhead, baby wild thing. And then drop your hips back down. Cross your left leg over your right so your left foot is planted firmly on the mat. Bring your left fingertips behind you as you wrap your right arm around your left leg and twist open to the left. Keep flexing through your right toes. And straighten and lengthen through your spine as much as you can. Exhale, release. Bring the soles of your feet together to touch. Knees go wide. Inhale, lengthen as you clasp hold of your feet. Exhale, fold forward. So this hip opener is just kind of a little bit of a release for all the twists we've been doing. Opening your hips to kind of release the back and the lower back. Normally we do twist to release the lower back, but in this case we're going to open the hips. Inhale, lift back up. That's my cat, Zinni. And then just windshield wiper your legs from side to side to release the forward fold. Scoot forward and lie all the way down on your back. Clasp hold onto opposite elbows over your head and bring your feet together and flex through your feet. So really just take a moment to completely lengthen your entire body. And then bend your knees, plant your feet on the ground, knees up, Shift your hips over to the right and then drop your knees over to the left. So this will be the last twist of the class. Except for the opposite side, of course. Bring your hips back center. Switch the cross of your arms and shift your hips over to the left and then dropping your knees over to the right. Use the strength of your core to bring your knees back center. Shift your hips back center as well, and then just extend your arms and legs, palms facing up, legs flopping out to the side for Shavasana. Be sure that your shoulders are rolling down onto your back body. Relax your feet and try to digest and become aware of all the work you've done for twisting and energizing. Try to relax your back as much as possible and all your facial muscles. Slowly begin to wake up, wiggling fingers and toes. Turn your head from side to side. Raise your arms overhead. Point through your toes as you take a big stretch and a big breath. Roll over to one side. Use the strength of your arms to help yourself up. Take a comfortable seat. Place your palms on top of your knees, close your eyes, and again just digest all the work you've done, being ready to go on with your day with renewed energy and renewed stamina. Bring your palms together at heart center. Inhale deeply through your nose as you take a big breath and exhale through your mouth. Namaste, yogis. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you have a beautiful day. Please subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this class. Namaste.